A winter's journey. Akira was barking and had worked herself into a frenzy. The Siberian husky leapt up, pulling at its tethering chain and straining to get my attention. The noise created by the other dogs was ear-splitting and relayed one crucial message. Pick me! This was the welcomer I'd always looked forward to. Balto and Miki, my wheel dogs, looked in racing shape and itching for the off. I glanced to my right and laughed at Dakota, attempting to outshine the other dogs by dancing on his back paws. He's my lead dog, strong, dependable and wise beyond his years. His fur is distinctive, with a ginger pattern running along the middle of his back, making him easy to spot, leading the way out in front of the pack. This would be his second year racing in the Yukon Quest. The snow crunched under my boots as I painstakingly arranged each dog into its position with the sledge brake firmly on. Fargo was being stubborn as usual, but eventually settled near his racing partner Petra. The biting Alaskan air was holding on to a cool -29 degrees Celsius, and the trail conditions today were perfect. Crisp, but not so hard-packed that it would cause strain on the dog's muscles and joints. The Yukon Quest vets had completed all the health checks, and as I expected, the dog's EKGs and blood work came back normal. I considered the race ahead of me. The Yukon Quest is a 1,000-mile-long dog sledge race and requires a tremendous amount of water to keep the dogs hydrated. The majority of water sledge dogs drink is found in their food, and I had planned on several quick snacks of fish, chicken or beef in between the main 11 checkpoints. The Yukon Quest can run from 10 to 15 days, and the dogs will require 6 litres every day, or, in human terms, 72 glasses. This year I was aiming to achieve the Humanitarian Award for the second year running. It is one of the highest honours a musher can receive when racing. Winning this award at the Copper Basin 300 last year was truly remarkable and humbling, and I was determined to win another, but this time on the longer Yukon Quest. Dakota was ready, as were the 10 others, and I climbed onto the sledge and released the brake. Watching how ecstatic the dogs were to run, their pink tongues lolloping from their mouths, filled me with delight. The frosty wind stung my cheeks as we flew along the trail. I constantly checked the dog's gait. If one dog falls out of sync with the rest of the team, this could mean a muscle strain or soreness is starting up. I've spent so much time with this pack that I tune into the rhythm of their movements and can instinctively spot a subtle change. After the first 20 miles, we stop for a swift, high-fat snack, and I mark with concern that Fargo is consuming a sizable amount of snow, a surefire indication that he's too hot. We rest longer than I had planned, but even though the rest of the pack are impatient to be off, we leave once I am satisfied that Fargo has recovered. Within the past hour, the temperature has dropped another 10 degrees, and he is barking energetically, urging me to get going. The first checkpoint at 2 Rivers is still a reasonable drive away. After hitching the dogs, I release the brake and the sledge zips along the compacted trail line. As I anticipated, the next part of the run to 2 Rivers is straightforward and goes without a hitch. The surface remains on a flat level, which the dogs relish, and visibility is good. The following section of the race has more challenging terrain and is subject to severe weather conditions. After we've stopped at 2 Rivers, I take my allocated straw bale, one for each musher, and make comfortable and warm beds for the dogs. After the dogs feed and are settled, I check the weather for the run to Central and Circle City. Eagle Summit lies in the middle of these 2 checkpoints and rises to 3,685 feet. Today the forecast is unsettled with a high chance of poor visibility. The temperature is forecast to drop another -12.5 degrees Celsius in the morning. Whoa. The cold does not concern me, as the dogs run much better in cooler conditions, but the poor visibility will be a challenge, especially climbing the summit. The following morning I run through health checks on the dogs, hitch them up and meticulously repack the sledge. As we set off, the sky darkens and a light wind buffets the top of the trees, causing them to wave at us as we pass. By the time we approach Eagle Summit, the wind has grown in force, whipping the light dusting of snow into our path. My grasp tightens on the sledge reins, and I imagine myself as one of those turn-of-the-century trappers whose courage and fortitude are what the Yukon Quest honours today. Dakota runs well, ears flat against his head, as he leads the way with his unwavering determination. The isolation of the landscape sends a gentle reminder. I'm out here, all alone with my dogs, pitting against the elements, and time ceases to be relevant. I'm savouring the winter journey to our final destination, Fairbanks, not looking ahead at the 1,000 miles, but just at the run in front of us.